Okay, now we're going to go on the back side of the 7 major principles of the Constitution, and we're going to look at the federal system. I know that's a little bit blurry. See if we can make that better. Okay, so in our federal system, the national government has the right to regulate trade. They also have the right to coin money, which means that they can make money. They can create the actual paper money and the coinage that we have in the United States. The national government provides, sorry, I tried to spell that wrong, provides military protection to citizens. If we're in a war, the national government provides the forces to fight that war. It's not up to states. We also see that the national government can conduct foreign relations. We make deals, trade deals, peace deals, all kinds of things like that with other nations. And mostly the president is over that. So conduct foreign relations. And then also there's a federal court system that is managed by the national government. The federal court system can review any case that they want to, but specifically they look at federal laws that have been broken. So a federal criminal case would be someone that has broken a federal law, which would be a felony. Okay, next we're going to skip over to the state government. Okay, pretend that this is a one of those Venn diagrams. Okay, national, state, and then this would be both. So the state government can regulate trade within a state. That makes sense. If Abilene businesses want to trade with Lubbock businesses, then that's managed by the state of Texas. The federal government does not have time for that. Regulate trade within state. Okay, they can also form local governments, meaning that they can make local council groups, local ordinances. Like, for example, in Abilene, we don't allow smoking indoors. That's a local law. Other places have different laws about that. We can also hold local and state elections. We also hold federal elections, but the state is responsible for registering voters, keeping them registered, providing a place for them to vote. And also, the state is in charge of the public school system, which is why we have the STAR test, because that's managed by the state of Texas and not the federal government. This one right here is going to be on your test. So you might want to put a star next to that, or flag, or circle it, whatever you want to do. Okay, now let's look at what they both do together. Okay, so both the national and state government work together to enforce laws. We see this with the FBI, that would be under national government. The Abilene Police Force would be under the state government. We have the Texas Rangers, that's under state government. And then also if we had like military come in and try to manage something, that would be under the national government. So both of those law enforcement groups work together to create order in the nation and in the state. They can also both have the right to establish, sorry, that's messy handwriting, establish courts where people can be tried in civil or criminal cases. Criminal cases involve law breaking. Civil cases involve wrongdoing, where someone is hurt or something is damaged. Okay, so enforce laws, establish courts. Both state and local governments, state and federal governments can collect taxes. They can borrow money. Borrow. They can borrow money, and also both are going to need to work together to provide general welfare. This is a highly debated topic because of healthcare in America. It's just such a mess right now. Obamacare was a national government thing, but then the state of Texas decided not to participate in it. So then how are Texans receiving general welfare if the national government has an idea that the state doesn't like? So this created a huge controversy. People would really still be fighting over this right now if it wasn't for the government shutdown and Donald Trump, his ideas about the wall and North Korea and things like that. So welfare has been put on the back burner, but this is a very hot topic that we're going to see that is like continually struggled over throughout time. All right, let's move on to the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights. Our first right in the Bill of Rights is freedom of speech, press, petition. That means that you and a group of other people can push for something specific. And then also freedom of religion, which is a question on your test. You have the right to bear arms. That's the Second Amendment. Really, this essentially means that you have the right to protect yourself. Sometimes it's spelled B-A-R-E. Sometimes it's spelled bear arms, like a bear. I prefer this spelling because I think it's funny. Okay, also you have the right to not have soldiers in your house. This is called no quartering. We've never had to quarter soldiers, so it's hard for us to understand why this is a bill, but pretty much it's saying that you have a right to privacy. And a lot of these refer to privacy. You don't have to hold soldiers in your home. If they come to your home and ask to stay the night, you can say no. But they're not going to do that because they know that you have the right to say no. That's why our military facilities throughout the country are like available to families and to military personnel so that they don't have to rely on citizens. Number 4 is the right of search and seizure. You have the right to privacy. Once again, police can't just knock on your door and barge in and try to find something unless they have a warrant. Sometimes people think that this applies to the school, that there has to be some kind of warrant or probable cause in order for them to be searched. That's not the case at school. At school, you're under school rules. You can be searched. Things can be seized from you at any point because you're on a public school campus, and that's the campus policy. So this is more of like adults and police interactions. Number 5, if you plead the Fifth, you're saying that you're not going to self-incriminate. You're not going to testify against yourself in court. No self-incrimination. Hey, what's up? Oh, thank you. Look at these beautiful flowers Molly just brought me. Okay, see you later. Have fun outside. Okay, so number 6. Number 6 is that you have a right to a speedy trial. It's not okay for someone to be thrown in jail and then just kept there. They have to be charged with something, and there has to be a trial. I feel like I spelled that wrong. Yeah, I did. Trial, not a trail. Right to a speedy trial. So again, you can't just sit in jail without being charged for something. Next, we have the right to a jury. This says that it's a jury of peers, which means that people around you from your community can hear your case and decide whether you're guilty or not. It's just like another level of fairness, an added level of fairness. Number 8 is that we have no cruel and Unusual punishments. We don't torture people. We treat them humanely in jail. We don't starve them unless they starve themselves. No cruel and unusual punishment. Okay, number 9 is rights not listed. And if you're trying to figure out what that means, so are other people. So are Americans. This is commonly cited as like a right to privacy, but it means that individuals have rights that are going to change over time, and they're not written down in the Constitution, but they're still rights that you have. All right, number 10 is sort of the same. It's like intentionally open-ended. Rights of states and people in those states. So we have rights that change over time that are not going to be specifically listed. It doesn't mean that it's not our right. It just means that when they wrote the Constitution and they wrote these rights, that they didn't know what was going to come up. So it's just kind of open-ended, and then it's interpreted case by case by the Supreme Court. All right, those are your notes. Good job.